All right, guys, welcome back to Ballroom Feed. We have another Technique Tuesday for you, and the topic today is posture. So what does posture mean? To me, that means good posture, that is to stand up nice and tall, which most people can relate to. And if you work at an office, or maybe you're sitting down, or you're crunched over, maybe you're a hairdresser or something, oftentimes we don't have such good posture. And we all want to have good posture because it feels better and it looks better, okay? So I'm gonna give you some tips today. Let's start with our feet together, and then I just want you to visualize what tall means to you, okay? After that, I want you to think open the chest. Keep the chest nice and open, and I want the head to be level, so it doesn't need to be up and it doesn't need to be down. So the back of my neck wants to be nice and long here, okay? That's what I want to visualize, like someone's picking me up from the back of my head, almost like a string like this, okay? So my chest is open, the back of my neck is long, my head is level, and then from there, of course, we want the shoulders to stay down and back. So we don't want them to roll forward and crunch in, and we also don't want to overextend anything here. So we want them to naturally just be a little bit back and then down. Shoulders up, no good either. That keeps the neck a little bit shorter. So that being said, these are our basics to our good posture. Now I have some tricks for you. Number one, we don't want to have an arched back like this. So ladies, we naturally, and fellas actually, everybody, we tend to have a sway back. What I mean is the arch kind of naturally happens. This is obviously pushing it, but we wanna make sure that our spine is straight as possible. So what that means is I'm gonna have to engage the front part of my body. I'm gonna have an exercise for you that I'm gonna do at the wall. If you don't know how to engage this part of your body, that's gonna work for us. But if we've already done that before, what I'm gonna do is slightly tuck everything under. So what I like to say is zip up from here. So I'm just gonna zip everything in. So what that means is I'm bringing my tailbone underneath my body. I wanna be careful here and not overextend it because we have this weird pelvic floor going too far forward here. So we don't want it to arch back. We don't want it to go too tucked under. We want it to be nice and comfortable straight. This is also going to protect the lower back once we start dancing. And you may wonder, what dances do I need good posture for? In my opinion, that's going to be all of them. Of course, we have varying types of dances, so you might be a little more relaxed in salsa, bachata, those types of dances, but we still don't want to be like this, right? That's no fun. It's not easy to dance with a person that's like this, and it just doesn't feel as confident. But for dances like waltz and foxtrot and tango, we might be even a little more lifted, and there's different ways. We can talk about that later. But that being said, posture is a must for good dancing and comfortable dancing. So once we have everything tucked and engaged, we're open the chest, shoulders down and back, head is level, the back of the neck is long, we are set up and ready to dance, okay? Of course, we don't want to be so squeezed everything, so I want everyone to just breathe in and breathe out. And while we breathe out, we want to try to maintain the chest position. So let's try that as an exercise before we head to the wall. So we're all lifted, we're all set up, everything's engaged. From here, breathe in with me. You can see that the chest naturally rises. From here, what I want to try to do is breathe out. It's going to fall a little bit, but I don't want you to go and then let everything go, okay? So because we're practicing posture, we want to try to stay set up. In and out. I'm trying to let this go, stay tight, but I'm not trying to let everything relax completely, but just so we can move freely and not be so tucked in, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna do an exercise, and we all have walls at home, hopefully, so we can practice this anywhere. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off, and I want you to first have your feet together, and we're all gonna soften our knees to make this a little bit easier. So what we can do first is inch our feet a little bit away from the wall just to practice this exercise with our knees bent. And there's naturally gonna be a space in between my back and the wall. Go in this position with me and we can try it together. So now what I want you to do, without contracting the shoulders, so keep that same idea of posture in your head, I want you to try to engage the front part of your body to lessen the space on the wall. It's okay if the shoulders come in a little bit just to feel it, and then we'll practice that later. But what we want to do is engage the front part of our body, our core, to flatten our spine, and that way engage our core at the same time without tucking too far underneath. And then of course we want to be mindful of the shoulders as well. So let's try that all together. So start with your knees soft. We're going to try to keep our shoulder blades down and back this whole time, and we're going to try to mitigate the space in between. If you have your hand, you can use that to feel the pressure. If you can't get all the way back flat against the wall, is okay. So we're just trying to lessen the space, lessen the arch. So let's try that. Put your hand on the wall, tuck everything in, engage the front body, try to keep the shoulder blades down and back, and release naturally. Again, in and release. So now that we've done that, we can try the same thing. Of course, if we have any sort of booty in the back, then it's gonna create a bigger arch. That's okay. We're just gonna try that same feeling. So you might not get all the way back to your hand or even to the wall, but we want to use that same feeling. So I'm standing up tall using all my things. From here, I'm going to tuck in and engage my stomach, trying to keep my shoulder blades back and trying to get a little bit closer to my hand and the wall, and release. Again, in and release. One more time, in and release. Okay guys, so that was just a little exercise to try to start engaging this part of your muscles, because it is very important to maintain good posture, protect the lower back, and also just for life. You need a strong core, which is all of your mid part of your body, to do anything, especially have balance and improve your dancing. I hope this helped, and we'll see you again next Tuesday for another technique. Bye.